before we get started, I gotta apologize to everybody. Because of me, we didn't have an episode, probably the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, like the 2 weeks.
Bruh, look, we gonna be consistent next season. And since we wrapping up this season, we did better this season.
Yeah, we did much better. I mean, and the next season starting off in like a month or so. So summer should be lit. Should have some guests on next year.
Absolutely. I had I think we might have talked about it on air. So everybody know I'm a photographer, and I recently was in I hate this Ring doorbell, bro. It's like the greatest invention ever, but it's like horrible. Anywho, so I was in a gallery at the Light Factory.
Congrats.
Thank you. Hold on, let me get my own self hand claps. How narcissistic is that?
Everybody on social media is a little bit narcissistic.
Absolutely.
You know, somebody got so mad at me when I said that. I was just like, why else would you post something if you didn't think that people wanted to hear it? Like it's a little self-indulgent. We shouldn't say narcissistic, but it's become such a buzzword. You know, dealing with the narcissist. And you see the new buzzword now is codependency. So be prepared for maybe we should just jump ahead and post a bunch of codependency stuff to YouTube. So when it does pick up,
It'd be go time.
Yeah, it'd be go time for our algorithm.
Look,
I don't believe in codependency though.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, the thing is like, if you're on social media, you have to be a narcissist. A little bit at least.
A little bit. You have to be.
Even if you one of those people like, I don't post my highlights, I post everything. Well, you posting that so you want people to think that you are a genuine, real person.
It's the reason why they added likes, thumbs up, more emojis. It's a reason why there's not a dislike there, right? Because they know that if you get negative inference back, it forces people underground, right? Like the fact that someone literally has to post under your comment, I don't like this, right? Which
Absolutely.
means that they're invested and now you're invested. But if you posted something and it had 20 anonymous thumbs downs, you'd stop posting. You will. Because you like, well, damn, like, is that from my friend? Is it from my mom? Is it from my brother? So
my wife?
Exactly, my husband. Like, no, it's a big deal. So, we are being manipulated. And it's not, I always tell y'all, I don't really have a problem. I'm a sales guy, so I don't have a problem with manipulation per se. Okay. Everything is manipulated to a point. But do you know that you're being manipulated, right? Like, do you understand when you walk into a movie theater, where you used to? No one goes to movie theaters anymore.
Nah, it's COVID.
Yeah, but do you understand that, like, it's a reason why they're popping popcorn every time a new movie is coming up, a new movie time is coming up, right?
Absolutely.
It would make more sense for them to pop the popcorn in between movies and have a full popcorn
why would you do
machine, that? Right? Because then they could just serve it. But no, the reason for that
smell.
popping, that smell, the sound, it makes you want to walk up to the counter.
Man, let me go ahead and spend an extra $40.
Exactly.
Here.
So again, I don't really have a problem with any type of intentional pandering to get what you want. But do the panderer, understand what they're doing, and does the pandee knows that what they're doing? And you know what? That's what makes it fair.
That is what makes it fair. The joke to me was TikTok, YouTube, everybody, they're being funny, right? Yeah. They dropped their highest earners of 2021, right? Yep. Just to piss people like us off who are trying to get we trying to get a plaque, we trying to get monetized, and then you got, two sisters on fucking TikTok who combined making $30 million. True. You know what I'm saying? And they on TikTok, bro. You're looking at people, you're looking at Jake Paul, Logan Paul, who's bringing in over $40 million. You're looking at other people that's, I review toys and I'm making $18 million. So I'm telling y'all this because now I'm laughing with a guy because we know a photographer who is hell bent on getting popping through Instagram reels, right? Yeah. Because Instagram, as most people know, I told this to you guys 2 seasons ago on here and probably 70 episodes ago on my photography podcast that social media is moving to a video platform base. All social media is because it keeps you on their platform longer. Cool. So now that we understand that, Instagram is making sure you only get likes via reels. That's their thing. They want to get that popping. So we know this photographer, and bruh has been hell-bent. He finally cracked the code. Bruh has 1 million views on some on an Instagram reel, right? Yeah. He posts a picture and he's on the story bitching. It might be over there. Oh, no, I got you. He's on his story bitching because his thing is he posts a picture. Now he's getting 8 likes. Where he used to get 100, 150 likes. Now Instagram has said, no. Get your ass back on here shucking and jiving for these videos.
You go make these videos.
Because that right there, somebody gonna scroll past it. They don't even like your photo anyway. They keeping it moving. Now you keep making these videos. We gotta feed you what you like. So y'all gotta understand when we're being pandered to. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that came to the gallery. I want to thank Mike for being there. Mike came in. Mike sat at the back. I shouted Mike out. My mom was talking shit. She was like, yeah, you shouted Mike out. You didn't even shout me out. I was like, Mom, I thought I said your name. She's like, no, you said shout out. And she started, you know how moms do. Yeah. Whenever moms try to use like the cool terminology, they never say it the right way. She was like, I want to thank everybody coming here. My boy Mike in the back. He came through to see me. I was like, Mom, brother, I ain't say none of that. She was like, it don't matter. I ain't get my shout out. But shout out to everybody that came in.
Shout out to Mom and Wifey for being there.
Absolutely.
On the front row.
On the front row. They made sure. My wife was like, yo, how long is this going to take? I got to eat. My wife will show up anywhere if there's a meal and champagne involved.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm with it. I'm with it.
And it was great. It was super fun. Learned a lot. A lot of stuff has happened since then. You know what? In that whole gallery experience, I learned something that I learned that we talk about here on the time, where they talk to us about having a team of people to look at your work to help you get through and to create something better. And it's all about accountability, even in art. And I thought about it throughout this whole process. I'm like, man, me and Mike have been talking about that.
Yep.
For longer than we've been talking about it on this pod, for
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's one of those things like, damn, even when you trying to create something, you know, which caused me to ask the question like, yo, who is y'all accountability partner at work? Who is it when you are at the gym? Who is it when you know, look, even for y'all who, I have a blog I want to do, I want to start vlogging, I want to start, you know, jogging, whatever the case may be. Who is your accountability partner? I encourage everybody, no matter what, to have somebody to hold you accountable. Because when you're not held accountable, you will talk shit about Cardi B and you will be paying back $3.8 million. That is the wildest shit I have seen in a while.
Bruh, like Cardi, hey, big up on Cardi for like following through. Because, you know, she had to go to court and everything. Like, Cardi was in court. She had the nails off. Like, man.
Hold on, I got one for you. That was for you, Cardi.
But yo, Tasha K, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Did anybody have a better day yesterday than Derrick Jackson? Because you know Tasha K is the one who dropped his story.
No, he probably was at the crib. That is funny now that you said that. He probably was at the crib dying.
Man, like I don't know if anybody had a better, like, you know, for your arch nemesis to you know, to
She's
get
done.
smacked. She's definitely done her. Hopefully she learns from this. I mean, like Tasha K's been like hit or miss. Big ups on her ascent though. Like, I mean, she took what, you know, like the media takeouts, and she took what they tried to do, and she did that. Yeah. But you can't personally go after folks, man. Like,
especially with false information.
Yeah, like, but so many sites do that, right? Like,
Baller Alert, Shade Room.
Baller Alert, Shade Room,
Media Takeout.
Yeah, and it's like, man,
TMZ.
But you know, when someone comes, you know, when their attorneys reach out and it's like, hey, cease and desist, take the video down.
Absolutely.
Then like, yo, cease and desist and take the fucking video down.
Yeah, or it turns into allegedly this happened.
Yes, like.
That one word gets you out of a lot of shit.
And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know enough about her. Like, I don't follow. Like, I don't even know if Tasha K would even fall under Pink Pill. Like, I don't know if she do or not. It just might be like Mad Woman podcast. Like, I don't even know. But to see it at extent, and then just to see, you know, a $3.8 million settlement. Like, Cardi showed up for court, bro. Like, celebrities don't do that.
No, nobody in her statue don't do that. When Jay-Z, for those who not know, Jay-Z is taking his photographer from Reasonable Doubt to court, which I will, when that whole thing comes about, please believe on the Paid Exposure Photography podcast, we will be talking about that, because that's super important that a photographer was hired, and since then has been making money off of the images, the behind the scenes and stuff with Jay-Z's image and likeness, and Jay-Z is like done, right? I guarantee you, Jay-Z won't be at every court hearing.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And while I'm here to say Cardi and Jay-Z ain't the same person, they both are A-listers. No matter what you look at with Cardi, where she's at half-assing music. I don't think she about to do music anymore. She gets more money doing no music.
Yeah.
She's in that category. She's getting into acting, things like that. Her time can be better spent. This is not the Cardi from the strip club no more. I don't know if people realize that.
Good point, man. Good fucking segue, because I know one of the things that we always talk about on this podcast is not only just accountability, but the ideal of growth, right? Mm-hmm. And look, I don't know if I would have liked hanging out with young Cardi.
Absolutely.
But, the moment I would have seen young Cardi, doing anything that I didn't like, I would have been like, shit, I can't fuck with it no more. And I got homeboys that I knew when I was younger. And then now in my early 40s, this dudes is doing bids, man. And somebody hit me up and they'd be like, yo, such and such just got out. And I'd be like, damn, I didn't even know they were locked up. And when we were in our 20s, a lot of us started going in separate directions because it was obvious that a lot of these paths were going to be paths where my freedom was going to be impeded a little bit. So when I look at Cardi and I see somebody that's on a path and then they go to another path, man, that's growth. And we have to celebrate this. This isn't cap. This isn't caping. This isn't us being like, oh, she wanted a settlement. Let's clout chase. No, this is why don't we celebrate growth? Right?
Absolutely.
We'll celebrate, Russ and Sierra, but we won't celebrate Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Look, that's the ideal, right? Two kids that have never been married, never been divorced, no children out of wedlock,
just dating.
A man that's earning, hella fucking money. Yep. A woman that's falling madly in love with him. Why don't we love that?
And we still don't know what her voice sounds
like. Barely. She was on one video.
Really?
And we heard a low voice.
Is it cute or is it trash?
It is actually it is cute. Laura Harvey is a winner, dude.
Her feet must stink. Something got to be wrong.
I think
she's just pretty.
I think she's straight, bro. I think because you got to think Michael B. Jordan he's the ideal Hollywood man.
Y'all
right
love
now, right?
him. I'm tired.
He was. This was the young Will Smith, right? This is the young Denzel. Yep. Michael B. Jordan is that guy now, right? Mm-hmm. Him and James Washington are those two guys. Mm-hmm. So why, what is it about our community, right? Why are we so media takeout, shade room, baller alert? Why are we that? Why are we not more 60 Minutes? Despite the fact that most of the things in this country that we have found great, whether it's the food, whether it's the music, whether it's the culture, these are all our things. These are all the ideals that come from our community. Why do we like a divorce, Mr. Eraser over a young, prominent, pushing it the way things need to be?
All right, so I got to speak for my generation. Shout out to y'all. I ain't talking about Gen Z or the motherfuckers after them either. Bro, it's about clicks. It's about likes. It's about attention. This generation, now our society, and unfortunately, Mike, for your age and even my age, it's more of them than us. You know what I'm saying? So,
definitely online. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
online
where it's at.
Is definitely more.
And so they run, we was talking about it. TikTok got 1 billion users. Facebook ain't got that.
Yeah,
Instagram ain't got that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And who on TikTok? What person your age you really know that's killing it?
We actually have a Stir Fry podcast TikTok that.
Oh, shut up!
I need to add a picture to. There's nothing on it.
Yeah,
but we are going to start throwing up the reactionaries on TikTok because that's where it's at. But to your point about being old and not doing shit, yes. Guilty.
Yeah, look, and so
accountability.
It's about the attention to life. I was watching a video today of this young boy with boxing gloves on, and he was talking shit to this old head. Old head was like, "Yo," old head told him, "I don't agree with it," but he said, "Yo, get your bitch ass out here."
Yeah.
And the young boy was like, "All right." And the old head told him one line that led me to believe he was about to whoop this boy ass. He said, "Put your dukes up." I ain't heard that since I was a little kid.
Put your dukes up.
That little boy put his hands up. And the dude gave him a shoulder, and the boy was on his ass. It was quick.
Yeah,
he was on his ass. And I thought about it, I'm like, for attention. That's what this world is. You know what I'm saying? It's kids who don't know. At Christmas, I was talking to my brother-in-law who's in Gen Z, and he was trying to explain to me how the metaverse worked. And look, the joke was he explaining it to me, and I go, "I know what this is." He's like, "No, you don't get it." I said, "Bro, You're telling me the metaverse is what used to be Sims and Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
And he was like, "What? What is that?" And I'm like, "Bro, it's Grand Theft Auto."
That's it, man. It's the idea. And here's the thing: the metaverse is coming. It's here to stay.
Oh, it's coming.
Like, like we definitely got to get ahead of it. It'll be what actually saves crypto, and because cash is about to be done. So as soon as it crashes to the bottom, I will start like buying like crypto and stuff, so I can not be tracked with my phone and my money. But
Mike want to be a spy so bad.
I do, man. I do want to be a spy. Like it's probably like the dopest fucking job. I am definitely James Bond. Like I am definitely like the gambler. I could ride. I could drive anything smooth. Like yes, I am damn
Mike
sure
the
Black James Bond all day. I should change my Instagram to that. The Black James Bond. Podcast takes off. Tell you what. 10,000 subscribers. I'm changing my Instagram name to the Black James Bond.
Oh my gosh!
But speaking of clicks, though,
here you go.
And likes. What's up with fucking Fit and Fresh, man? And I know we're not even in the business of calling out other podcasts.
It's important though.
But and I'm not even gonna jump on the point. I'm not even gonna jump on board with the bashing them because they said that they don't date black women.
Yeah.
But this is what I am going to address. And normally we have a problem with this in this country is that as a black person in this world, we look similar, right? Like black people, the way you and I look, if anybody's watching this on Spotify, YouTube, like we are shades of black that is different from the rest of the world shades of black.
From my siblings.
Yeah, from our siblings even, right? Because as African Americans, like our genetics just has this huge range that doesn't exist in many other parts of the world.
Absolutely.
So as African Americans, we look at black people and we are more inclusive, right? Like people don't know this. Like the Aboriginal people of Australia, they consider themselves black. They literally call themselves black.
Yeah.
Right? And they understand that they are a part of the black community. The African American community is a little bit different because we are so encompassing. We think that everyone is as encompassing as us because we do have weird genetics in this country due to the apartheid and the enslavement of the royal families of Africa.
Absolutely.
Now, this is where I'm going with this, right? Because you probably think I don't have a point on this.
Let's hear it.
Myron is Sudanese.
Okay.
And he's not a typical Nubian because his complexion is a little bit light. So he likes to say he's Sudanese. He likes to say that he's Arab mixed. He don't really tell people that he's from the Sudan, right? So, and he's here. He had to assimilate, right? Like he probably did not go to HBCU. He probably went to PWI.
Absolutely.
He had to assimilate. All right. The other guy, Fresh. Fresh is from, I want to say Barbados.
Okay.
Right? Which again is a different type of black. Now,
yeah, West Indies.
Here is the problem that I have here is that they ride African Americans to get to a point and then they shit on them, right? This is always going to be a problem. You can, if anyone has a problem with what I just said right now, please feel free to come in and we could do an off topic and you can sit on this couch over here and we could discuss why when people come from another country that are black, they have this problem with African Americans, despite the fact that chances are anything that you've gotten or where you are, chances are you did that on the backs of not black people, not Honduran people, not Sudanese people. You did that on the backs of African Americans. Have a huge problem.
Absolutely.
With those two guys making that statement, knowing that information. But that ain't even my fucking problem.
What's the problem?
My problem is, now, we always say on this podcast that sex work is real work, right?
It absolutely is. Shout out to all y'all.
We always say that. And we say that we love the sex workers. Why? Because they keep the simps, they keep them in check. They keep the incels in check. Now, men that don't like women are typically incels. All right? Fit and Fresh have pretty much said that they done erased the whole segment of women
that they don't mess with.
All right. And not only have they erased this whole segment of women, we're finding out that the segment of women that they like, these dudes are meeting the women off of seeking. Now, I would say allegedly, but he actually posted a video. So if the video disappears, then let me say for legal reasons, allegedly, they meet these girls on seeking. I don't have a problem with that. Because I told y'all tricks and simps exist.
Yeah.
But tricks and simps are two totally different men.
Absolutely.
All right. The trick understands that I'm paying this woman for
her time,
right? And not only just for her time, I'm paying her to leave, right? Like,
absolutely.
I need something from you. I need the companionship from you because humans are herd animals. Mm-hmm. But I don't need you here all day for whatever reason. My wife coming home, my girlfriend coming, I gotta get the kid, whatever reason, right? Like,
hey, hold on. I knew an escort, and she said her Twitter bio said, "I babysit your husband."
Yeah, it's pretty much true. So we don't have a problem. So let's let it be clear: we do not have a problem with sex workers here.
She was fine too.
But what I do have a problem with is that these men like to call out simps. But here's the thing: if you hire a sex worker and then you've convinced yourself that she's not a sex worker,
absolutely,
which is the video that I watched,
or does she like you,
bruh? Yeah,
that's even worse.
Major fucking simping, man. Bro. And look. This is not a simping podcast, right? What does it say in my bio? Turn simping off. If you want to pay for it, pay for it. Cool. No big deal. No one cares. You're weird for running around talking about that you paid for it, right?
Yeah.
Like no one goes to a restaurant and sit down and say, "Hey, I'm paying for food."
No.
You
eat.
You eat and you leave. Well, you eat, pay, and leave.
Absolutely.
Right?
Fair enough.
So this one, it just works a little bit different. You pay first. You eat. And you leave, all right? Well, hopefully you're not eating.
Look,
but you get the point.
Hold on, because today is a sex podcast. It is a group of men on the sex workers Reddit page who love to go down on sex workers. And the sex workers on the page be like, this is the weirdest shit ever, but
this
whatever.
Is true, and we're not going to kink shame today. We're not going to kink shame today. Man, we're doing amazing fucking segues. This podcast might be over 30 minutes.
Hold on. But because, here's the thing, before we go there, these guys really, they had. I'm
laughing because you are absolutely right, and some things I forget.
So the joke is, these guys were online, and there's a group of people who I think pander to women that, to me, we call them simps anyway, but it's a different set where it's like, hey, my goal to get popping is to piss off black women. And they only target black women. Why? Because Baller Alert repost me if I piss off enough people.
Yes,
right?
Yes, and that'll get my page up.
That'll get my page up, and I'm out of here.
Is that worth it forever though? You know what I'm saying?
And so that's that. And so these guys get on there. They're talking about black women. They dogging black women for that episode, right? And I see everybody. I only found it because Joe Budden made a whole video going in about them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was like, damn. And then next thing you know, bro, I'm watching some of their episodes. I'm like, I don't even know these dudes, but since they said this,
and that's how the algorithm works, right?
And that's how it works.
You see the first video, and then like I said, I end up it's a guy that I follow named Spencer. I can't tell you his last name, but I'll plug him. White dude, because he actually exposes frauds.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So he was exposing Fit and Fresh, whatever the name is, as like fake gurus or whatever. And look, not trying to be a guru. I don't want to tell men like how to date, what to date, but I do want men to become more masculine, because I believe that if we embody the whole ideal of masculinity, right? Like, the ideal of being caring, kind, prepared, providing, right? Like we do all of those things. The part of masculinity that we all get, right, which is the low level of violence that men always present to each other and to women, you never reach that part. Yeah. Like that is the part about being a man that I think we either oversell it or undersell it. We either super aggressive where we're beating our chest and all men are attacking other men, wars, violence against, women, or it's like, well, it doesn't exist at all. And there's a balance there. Like when we're sitting around and we're debating, me and my homeboy, like we're debating how LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, right? Or we was debating, we was at the lounge the other night and we was debating, how good are the Miami Heat, right? And as men, like we're going back and forth. We're like, you're an idiot, you're stupid, your ideal sucks, right? Yeah. Like these are all confrontational terms, right? Yeah. There's a low level of violence that exists when men are discussing things, right? Like from the outside, if you don't really understand the conversation, it looks aggressive. And it looks aggressive because it's actually fucking aggressive, right? But that's not men, right? Like that's not me and my boy's relationship. Most of our relationship is just sitting around with a stogie, McAllen, and and we're chilling and we're talking about life and we're talking about kids and we're talking about our wives, our ex-wives, right? Yeah, that's the truth. So if men understood the embodiment of all of masculinity, right, and then these red pill podcasts wouldn't take off the way that they take off.
Absolutely.
Because dude, the only thing they are black incels. Well, I didn't know existed. I really did.
Out here. And shoot, if we get women, especially black women, and I understand this is not a black woman's podcast or a podcast catered to black women, but even if black women could recognize those things and say, yo, we made Kevin Samuels pop. Yes. We made this podcast pop. Black women made Baller Alert.
Okay, Shade Room.
Yeah, okay, Floyd put all the money behind it. Okay, cool, with Baller Alert, right? Okay, then you look at Shade Room. I don't know if y'all ever paid attention, but whenever a black man dies, Shade Room they keep posting thought shit. Just to give y'all a heads up. They don't care. Like when Stacey Abrams was trying to do whatever for Georgia and we trying to change the election, they still showing y'all popping y'all asses on the Shade Room.
They don't care.
They don't care. Like, they still got to keep catering to their base.
Yep.
Funny enough. So all this anyway, but when I was saying earlier, it's like, I'm watching these guys and I'm like, it's no surprise in they fries. And it goes back to what we were saying about social media. So why is people fries online? We don't care that you're on Seek and you looking for a sugar baby. Do your thing. It's easier ways to do it.
It's definitely easier ways to do it. And here's the thing. You don't like, guys, go and Google this, right? I mean, or YouTube, not Google it. Well, you could Google it and get you to YouTube, but you get what I'm saying.
There we go.
But like, here's the thing, right? You don't create this persona that I'm smooth and I get all the ladies, and then come to find out that like, no, y'all having to pay for all the women that y'all have. Now, that's not the problem. I have no problem with simps having to pay, right?
Yeah,
because you're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to
because what you need to do is get married, right?
Yeah.
But since you dudes have no interest in understanding what it means to be a husband, it goes back to the 50-50 thing. I always say, if you are in a 50-50 relationship, you need to stop seeking submission. You need to be looking for cooperation.
Absolutely.
There is no submission when there is no lifestyle change, right? Like, absolutely. You submit to the creator because there's a lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
Right? Like,
absolutely.
He can make your life really, really good or really, really bad. The submission is like, hey, this is the gift of me recognizing that can happen. Mm-hmm. When you're in a co-op relationship, right? Like, there is no, that's 50-50.
Yeah.
So until you guys get to the point to where you do want to handle everything and you're loving, because you can't just handle everything and not be loving.
Yeah, nobody.
Right? You can't water a flower and step on it every day. It's not going to work.
That's actually fair. I never heard that.
Yeah, like makes sense. That would not work. But you red pill guys got to understand that if you are simping, you are destroying the dating community, because what's happening is, like, the young lady that they showed, she's on there and she goes on how she don't like men with money, right? And then you could go on Alba and Preach. They actually made a video, but they showed a video of all her TikToks, which is just like, I only mess with men with money. And then he's saying that, like, he's invited her out. She never came out until he was at a yacht party, and then she came out. So obviously, like, you are paying for disarrangement. No problem with that, because y'all, I mean, I think they were 6 in Super Chat last year. 6, right? Like 700K. That's like $350K a piece for them. Not counting the courses, not counting the shows.
Yeah.
So you do have the money to trick.
Yeah.
But there does have to be a recognition to get out of simping, to get out of lameness. You do have to recognize what is costing you to get the things that you're bragging about, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to, as men, one of the coolest thing about men is we're in competition our whole lives, right? Like, from the time you're in elementary school to now, if we go to a basketball court and they're in a game of 5-on-5 is breaking out on a playground basketball court, right?
Yep.
What are the first thing we're doing? Like, hey, the person that picks is the person who makes the shot.
Yep.
So you got to win first before you even get an opportunity, right? You got to win before everybody else wins.
Bruh.
All right. And then after everybody else win, we size up everybody on that court, right? Mm-hmm. And we go and we pick who's best. There's always somebody that's last pick.
Mike, scratch that. The game is over. who got next? You got to be the first person to say that so you can play again.
So you can play again. And guess what? If you're not good enough, are you playing?
No.
No, you're not
you're
playing.
Watching.
Men are constantly in competition. And it's only these men that are pretending that they winning all the time, right? Because nobody wins all the fucking time.
Unless you're on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like if I'm at a bar, and it's me and Jason Momoa, right?
Okay.
And there's a woman that walks in. It's just one woman.
One.
Right? That's his woman until he decides he doesn't want her.
Yo, Mike, you got this, man.
That's no. I don't. I'm not beating Jason Momoa unless there's like.
That's what he gonna do. He gonna look at you and be like, Mike, you got this.
Yeah, there you go. He gonna pass. He got to pass it off, right? But you know what I'm saying? There's an understanding, and men that sit here and pretend, right? That there's not an understanding. That there's not a hierarchy. That big bank don't take little bank. You're the ones that always get smashed.
Look, man,
always smashed in the face every time. Now. That's on selection. There is a way to get selected once someone gets to know you, but that's different. That is a different place as men, right? Like, you know, attraction isn't just how you look, right? There's a thing with beauty, right? There's a select amount of humans on this planet that are just gorgeous, right? They're just beautiful, all right? That's not the majority of us. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Most of us have to develop attraction, which is everything that's encompassing of you, right? Like the way you walk, the way you smell, the way you dress. These are ways to become more attractive. But like that ideal of just beauty, like that just walk into the room and everybody head turn, that ain't everybody. Nah. But for some reason, social media got men and women fucked up into thinking that they could compete on the highest level by just showing up. That ain't how life works, man. No. That is not how life works. And these incels that follow these red pill podcasts is buying into this idea that I just have to show up, right? And then I have to show up and like, yo, well, I'll pay a little bit of money, but it's not simping. It's absolutely fucking simping.
And just accept it.
Yeah, if you lean with your wallet, you're absolutely fucking simping. We're talking about you. We're not talking shit. We're telling you to stop and become more creative and become more of a fucking man.
Thank you. Absolutely. Now, shout out to all the men. This is for you that be on that all the sex workers are talking about on Reddit. Because last night I was doing a podcast. I was doing a photography podcast, and the girl was on. Shout out to Alex of Hair Wraps and Lipstick podcast. She goes, Gavin, what is one guilty pleasure that you have that everybody's going to judge you for if they knew? And I go, my top 3 subreddits that I'm a part of is Slutty Confessions, Sex Workers Only, and Escorts Daily. The reason why, the stories are simply mind-blowing. And she looked at me and she goes, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like...
we can't kink shame. We cannot kink shame.
And I told her, I said, you sit there and every morning I wake up and tell my wife, like, look what I found. Yeah, because it's amazing. And let me tell you why it was amazing. And I speed through this. I did a photo shoot one time for a girl that was she was an escort, and she introduced me to her friends, and I did all of their photo shoots for their pages. Cool. During that photo shoot, which lasted about, it should have been an hour. I think I was there for 3 hours.
Yeah, you gotta stretch that out.
The reason why, the shit that you hear, they explained, it was 6 ladies. They explained to me how men are, and I would, if I would have met them at a bar and they would have said that, I would have been like, y'all lying.
Yeah, no doubts, no doubt.
And so I'm listening to these stories, and so now if I'm telling y'all, go on Reddit, type these things in, and you will be amazed. And it's not ladies saying, hey, here's my stories. It's ladies posting screenshots of what dudes say to them, what they willing to do, what they want to do, what they looking for. And so it's simply amazing. But today we are here to talk about
how we can get better at sex.
Let's do it.
All right, because men are terrible at sex. All right, terrible. All right, so I was like, yeah, let me go pull some data before I come in here and talk shit about, you know, our species, the males. And I was like, there was a stat, man, where it was like 80% of women do not orgasm from penetrative sex. 80 fucking percent. It's 8 out of 10. So if you've been with 10, a lot. If you've been with 10 women and you haven't done what we're gonna tell you to do by the end of this podcast, you have disappointed 8 of those 10 women. That's pretty fucking high. Matter of fact, according to a study, I'm reading right now, according to a study in 2011, this is on The Face. Couldn't tell you who that site is. So if it's something that I shouldn't be on, apologies. Didn't know. I was just Googling shit. 80% of women fake their orgasms during penetrative sex.
I believe that.
All right. And then here's the thing. This and other similar studies say the main reason for faking orgasms are because women did not want to hurt their partner's feelings, 42%, didn't feel comfortable going into sexual details, 40%, or they were embarrassed, 37.7%. Now, that's over 100%, so I'm pretty sure it was like multi-choice of the reasons. So, in case anybody's doing math and want to be a smart ass.
They be like, yo, what they talking about?
All right. So, one of the reasons that women don't want to discuss anything is because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Absolutely.
Right? Fellas, why are we jumping into sex before we talk about sex? All right, here's the thing. I get it, right? Happened to me one time before, right? Like,
okay.
It was an extremely attractive woman, and I couldn't believe that she wanted me at that moment, right? I had to hurry up. I had to be like, yo, let me get here before you change your mind.
Yeah.
Now, I was young as fuck, right? Like, the older I got, you realize that they're not going to change their mind. They've already decided. Only thing you got to do now is just shut up.
Shut up.
Just shut up. That's all you got to do. They've already decided. Just be quiet. Follow instructions. That's all you got to do. You will get there. All right. You guys got to understand that, like, if a woman is interested into you, like, she's like, all right, I like you, right?
Yeah.
I want to have sex with you. Guys, this is the time to find out, hey, all your sexual questions need to be answered here. All right, you want to have sex with me. Are you on birth control? All right, should be like the first fucking question. Did y'all think did you think it was going to be anything else on this podcast than finding out, is she on birth control?
Stop asking, are you clean? Everybody gonna lie.
Yes, exactly. Like, if you want to do that, that's another 2 weeks from now conversation, right? But, you know what I'm saying? So, like, yo, are you on birth control? All right. She's yes or no. All right. Now, hey, guess what? I'm assuming most of the time you guys are going to use condoms. I'm going to assume, for the most part, everybody's coming in there with condoms for the first time. A lot of you guys don't. All right. Now,
Tristan Thompson.
If you're not using condoms, the next question out of your mouth needs to be, hey, when is your period? Right now, if you can't calculate an ovulation cycle off the woman's period, then what you need to do is just straight up ask her, like, hey, when you ovulate? Guys, you said it 5 episodes ago. Go ahead and repeat it. I know this is an uncomfortable fucking question.
Go ahead and say it.
She's not going to change her mind, but you got to know that. You got to know, like, when you ask her if she's ovulating, she's not going to change her mind. And chances are, if she just went out with you for the first time and you about to get the buns quickly, chances are she is ovulating, bro. This is not the time to go in there and shoot up the fucking club.
Well, before we go, you said something a couple episodes ago. You said if she doesn't know, that should be a red flag.
Oh, that should absolutely be a red flag.
That's what I wanted to get at.
And you will get a complaint. Well, for a lot of women saying that that's not the case here. But I've talked to enough women to know that, most women absolutely understand when they're fucking ovulating.
Absolutely.
All right.
First of all of them got it on their phone.
Exactly. Well, and if she don't, again, yes, that should be a red fucking flag.
Yeah.
Now, look, I ain't telling you to run up out of there because I know men.
Yeah.
Right? I'm also a man.
Yeah.
So which is why I know what the hell I'm talking about. But I am saying that this is definitely the time that you need to have a fucking condom. Absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely. Go get one.
You need to have a condom, and this is probably not long term, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, you're getting to the questions, man, because again, like, men, you're bad at sex. So here's the thing. You want to jump in and you want to go quickly. All right. There's a saying in the military. It is fast is slow and slow is smooth. All right. So slow down. Oh no, slow is fast and smooth is however the saying goes.
Y'all know the saying. Look it up.
I'll find it. But anyway, you take your time. Slow is fast and fast is smooth. All right. Take your time because the slower you go, the more the anticipation is going to ratchet, and that is going to make the whole situation a lot smoother, right? So if you just jump in, like I just told you, 80% of women are not having orgasm for penetrative sex. So she's damn sure not probably having an orgasm for penetrative sex with a fucking stranger, which is what you are at this time. I know that probably sounds a lot shittier than what we want it to sound like. But if it's somebody you don't know, if it's somebody you just met for 3 months, or if you never met their mom, their cousins, their family, you've never been to their job, you may or may not know their last name.
Absolutely.
Right? We're going to tell the truth here, right?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to tell the truth here, right? You've been out 3 dates because, y'all dudes want to take women out 3 dates and then you think that she owe your ass. So
yeah,
whatever the reasons are, chances are this is not about to be mind-blowing sex.
No. What?
Slow the fuck down, man. Like, for real, just slow it down.
Absolutely.
Second thing that we're going to jump into right? And what we should have jumped in before that is chemistry. We'll go back to chemistry, but I want to make sure I say this right. I want to be clear here, fellas. Women take this shit so seriously, and even if she's considering you, if she's considering doing anything with you, right? Like even the making out part, the first, second, third base part, right? If you do not do this, she is not going to move forward with you unless she is super fucking horny. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Oh my God.
All the time. Wash your hands incessantly. Right?
Yeah.
Get in the habit of pretty much every time you touch a fucking doorknob of washing your hands.
Yo, can I go to your bathroom?
Yes. Women notice that, right? Because here's the thing about a woman's vagina. It's just as susceptible to everything as her mouth, maybe even more so.
Absolutely.
Right? So the same thing, you wouldn't touch the floor and put your hand in your mouth. Bro, you can't be touching her couch and grabbing everything and opening doors and then hopping in the car and being like, yo, let me rub on that thing. Like, no, fellas.
It's not happening, bro.
It's not happening, man. And she's not being rude.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Really good site for y'all guys. Shit, really good site for y'all women too, because they be finding out y'all don't know a lot of shit that y'all need to know about yourself. There's a website that was created called Pussypedia.
Okay.
It actually, and it's not about sex, but it's about all things woman and vagina.
Okay.
Fellas, just go to the website every now and then. Hell, if you meet a new woman, right, and you're interested and you think it's leading there, go to Pussypedia, right? Like last week we put you on the Kinsey scale, or not last week, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. We put you on BDSMtest.org, and I guess where we should have started was chemistry is a big thing.
Absolutely.
All right? So again, this is like, yo, man, how you got to be better at sex. The reason why we sent you to BDSMtest.org is because if you are not sexually compatible, you're probably going to have bad sex.
Absolutely. Wasting your time.
You like if and here's the thing. If the conversation or the relationship, situationship, whatever it is, if it's leaning towards sex, right? Like if y'all get to the point where, you know, her pictures are becoming more and more risque, hey, this is a good time to start talking about what she likes, right, and what she's into. Because as men, we're pretty simple. We're pretty simple to please initially. Like men add layers of complexity, right? Yeah. Like a woman is already complex. So finding out, like, okay, like what is she into, right? Like, does she want her hair pulled? If she has a natural hair, you know, a locks, you know, that might be a good time to find out if she do it though, because sometimes these wigs be looking real as hell, and they're not.
Look, shit comes clean off.
So this is a good time to find out, you know, hey, do you like your hair pulled? And she be like, boy, you can't pull my hair. Like this shit, $600.
Look,
you snatch it out, you gonna have to put it back in, right?
You gotta understand.
So, you know, finding out, all right, you know, how much foreplay, you know, she wants. Foreplay is a big thing. And look, I'm not trying to talk to anybody like they're a fucking dummy. But I am talking to you guys about these, like, to Gavin's point. If you go to Reddit and you find out, you know, like what women hate about sex, too fast. Fast.
Hands dirty is actually
not really, washing hands is a huge one.
Right, it's really on a lot.
Not having a stroke, right?
Yeah.
So like stroke is a huge thing, right? Stroke can save dick size, fellas. like for real. if you're short on length, stroke can save you, bro. Like a consistent, strong stroke, strong, slow, consistent stroke, it can save you. All right.
My when we used to work at the job together, my wife would be like, I was point to her like what girls is bad and what I think they were in bed. This is when she was my homegirl. She was like, man, she's a fish. I'm like, what? She's a starfish. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? And my wife was explaining this shit to me like, no, this is what it is. And then she started talking about dudes and she was like, yeah, I heard he just goes forward. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, forward. And I'm like, what you mean? She was like, forward. She was like, it's certain dudes who don't care. They're going to keep going straight when they penetrating. And they're just going to go forward as much as they can. And they don't know what the fuck they doing. And then they want to know, like, their only brag is, oh, I slept with her.
Yeah.
Not that I can sleep with her.
Yeah, what they say, you know, still hit though?
Yeah.
Like that was a thing for a while.
She was like, that's their only trophy on every wall. It's like, I hit.
But there's no repeat customers there.
Yeah. She's not giving you a review.
Yeah. And that's like a big thing that I think men have to understand. Like, fellas, women enjoy sex, right? So if we don't if we don't make sex enjoyable, right? That woman is going to go have sex with somebody else.
Absolutely.
And once if there's only 20% of men that can make women come, you know, we went back a couple podcasts ago, right? We was like, yo, there's a small percentage of men that has access to a large subset of women. And I don't want to say it then, but that sexual tension, that sexual energy, that sexual desire that a woman does have, like women are not puritanical, they're not virginal, they're not as sensitive as we make them out to be in this angelic sense, right?
Yeah.
Angelic, demons are actually angels, right? They're actually the most beautiful angels. Look. And when you start understanding that, now you can start accessing what this woman can actually provide for you in the bedroom. Because at the end of the day, I think the most of what a lot of the things that we do is because we want that companionship. And a part of that companionship is, hugs, kisses, and fucking.
Yep.
Right? So let's not pretend that that's not the case. Fellas, you have to get into the point to where it's like after you have sex with a woman for the first time, and at the end of sex, just saying like, "Yo, all right, hey, first time jitters, it was bad. What do you need more of? Like what did I do that you like? Or better question, right? Because she might not like anything.
Might not.
The better question is, hey, what did you need more of? What did I not give you? All right." This is what's going to get you laid, fellas. Like, this is what's going to get you to where a woman wants to be with you, right? So once you bring in all that other masculine shit, because when you bring all that other stuff in, like, yeah, a woman is going to want to be with you, but if you ain't pleasing her sexually, I mean, I hate to tell you, fellas, she going to cheat on you.
Look, hey.
Maybe she won't, right?
No, well, she is.
She gonna cheat.
Yeah, I mean, let's not lie. We said we ain't gonna lie today. It was funny enough. I was about to mess with this girl, and I'm telling Jamar, even though Jamar probably don't want nobody to know his name. My fault, Jamar. We gotta get you a new name, bro. And so anyway, I'm about to mess with this girl. It's not even about Jamar. That's the funny part. And so I'm telling Jamar, I'm like, yo, I think I'm about to get in there. And he was like, don't even worry about this one. I was like, what you mean? He's like, bro, you gonna fuck this up. I'm just letting you know. He's like, you been wanting this. Like, you got the jitters. I can already tell. He's like, this one's gonna be trash. Just ask her what happened. Yeah. When you get done, just be like, yo, what you think, whatever. And he's like, if you hit her with that, and this is what I'm trying to say to men here. It's like sometimes if you go back and you actually show that you concerned, that you actually care, and that she just wasn't another notch on your board, you get another opportunity more than likely.
And you look, another reason that you want to care, because sometimes it is just, it's not going to be another opportunity, but you don't want a motherfucker to talk shit about you either.
Oh my gosh.
Like, so going back and just, doubling back and just like, yo, are you all right? What could I, done more? Yeah. A lot of friendships are born out of that. Mm-hmm. So again, as men, take the ego out of it, take the, I still hit though out of it, and get to the point to where you actually want to be a lover, right? You actually want to provide pleasure to the woman. You don't want to just be like, yeah, I still hit. Like, no, you actually want to be the type of guy that's like, yo, no, I made her come, right? Like that needs to be a goal. Now that we've discussed like how women view men sexually, and we should have a podcast where we bring women on and they tell like their worst, sex stories and their best sex stories, because the best ones would definitely be interesting, because you'll find out, women like different things. Like every woman has like a different, stroke that she wants, different spot that she wants. But also to bring it on, so like, we could hear like most of the things that all the women hate is the dirty hands. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fuck like a jackhammer. Mm-hmm. You always see those complaints.
And some of them don't want to kiss y'all on the first time they messing with you.
But they want to have sex, which is weird. But that's the nation. That's another thing. That's the word to win now.
Yeah, that's the like it's certain things. It was on the one of the things was on these threads is the dirty hands. Let me tell y'all that, and I keep going back to that because I noticed a lot of women during COVID, they're just like, yo, it's COVID. So I'm trying to be careful about who I'm messing with anyway. And then they say, yo, y'all nails don't be done. They be dirty. And you walk straight into my crib, or I come to your crib or whatever. And I'm trying to decide, A, if you showered already. And B, I'm looking at your hands like you're not putting those fingers in me.
That is definitely
and it's
true.
Like, yo, just hygiene and sanity, like
hygiene.
When I was sitting with these ladies, bro, when they explained to me how each race of men had different hygiene issues when it came to sex. And some was clearly just worse than others. And their things was just like, yo, dudes are nasty. And they were like, yo, it's like they expect you to be way out in left field. Like, just because I'm getting paid for sex, I'm willing to do everything that your $200 or $300 is going to do for me. And they're like, yo, they are just like, A, they have these fantasies, but then B, it's like, yo, hygiene wise, they're dirty.
Yeah, and hygiene is a huge one. So again, if you're talking about getting laid, smelling good is always going to help.
Oh my gosh.
So if you are going over to a woman's house and you do incessantly wash your hands, you you going over there, there's nothing wrong with just being like, if you get invited over, be like, all right, let me jump in the shower first, right? Because she wants to hear that. She wants to hear that. All right. Yeah. These are just tidbits. Now, now that we talked about the basics of what, fellas been fucking up, we're going to jump into like the sexual types, because chemistry is a huge thing. So, at the 50 Shades of Grey, everybody started, moving more into the dumb sub world, which is called BDSM, bondage, domination, sadist, and masochism. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people were like, yo, I'm not into that. Because when I was a young man, right, probably like 22, 23, I was just like, yo, I'm not into that. And then, end up meeting a young lady that like put me on some game, man. Yeah. And then, I was just like, all right, I need to look into this, right? Yeah. I need to read into it. And one of the things, this is the thing about BDSM. A lot of you guys are just running through women. A lot of y'all women are just running through men, because I always say you got an itch that you can't scratch. Yeah. You don't know what it is. Find out what the fuck you into. All right. So everybody knows about the dom and the sub, right? And there's a misunderstanding of this dynamic, right? It's like the dominant is just like demanding what a woman does, and the submissive is just like, oh, I'll just do whatever you want me to do. And it's like that is not the relationship of a dominant and a submissive, right? A submissive likes to follow, right? But a submissive also knows the direction of where she should be going, or he. There's male submissive too.
Absolutely.
And if you are a male submissive, do not be kink shame, and don't let anything I say feel like an admonishment. But as a submissive male, you do understand that you should not be with a submissive female, right? Absolutely. You should be with a dominant female. And here's the problem. This is what I love about today's sex, is that there's a lot of dominant females now, right? Like a lot of women are saying that they're alpha females, and they believe that since they're alpha female, they belong with an alpha male. No,
y'all just adults. But
you need to be with a submissive male. Submissive males exist, and they exist for you.
Absolutely.
All right, but here's the thing about being a dominant. Bad dudes. It's more than understanding, what happens next. It's more than deciding what happens next. It's understanding that there's a responsibility that happens, right? Dominants are responsible for aftercare, right? They're responsible for the feelings, all the feelings before sex, during sex, and after sex, all right? It's the dominant's job to make sure that the sub understands that they are okay and they're in good hands, and they will be in good hands, that they were not just a tool of your attraction in the moment, but they're actually as a gratitude and appreciation. If you do this as a dominant, the submissive will always give that gift of submission to you. Some people is not into that 24/7. Yeah, that becomes a problem between doms and subs, because there's dominant men and women that are dominant 24/7, and then there's submissives that are just sexual submissives. Yeah, and they get together because the sex is so fucking wild, but then they can't live together because the submissive is just a sexual submissive, but she's a switch in real life, or he's a switch in real life. So there's a lot of contention. Having these conversations way prior before you have sex will save you a lot of bad sex. All Absolutely. Right. So we got dom and sub. All right, sadism and masochism. Sadism is someone who likes to inflict a sort of pain. A masochist is someone that likes to receive a lot of pain. Let me tell you why you want to find this out. If you're with a woman that likes to receive a lot of pain, or man, but it's a male podcast, so we're talking about women, or whatever you're into. Yeah, whatever you want. But if you're into somebody that likes to accept a lot of pain, and you're unaware that this person likes pain, they could be unintentionally pushing your buttons to get the pain from you.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't understand this, you just think this is just a shitty relationship.
Yeah.
When this person is actually requesting pain. That pain can be physical, that pain can be mental, that pain can be emotional. It is not always tied to trauma.
Yeah.
Sometimes motherfuckers just freaks. All right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, people just want to be nasty. But if someone has a high masochist scale and you have a low masochist scale, a low sadism scale, you may not be able to provide that person with what they want. Everything else in a relationship could be perfect, except that person is not receiving the pain that they want from you in a sexual context. And then, if there's trauma involved, sometimes they also want it emotionally and mentally from you. If you don't have this conversation, you can end up in a very bad chemistry relationship, a terrible, terrible, terrible fucking relationship. All right. And then again, a sadist is the opposite of it. I remember a good friend of mine, well, a good associate of mine, was dating a young lady that had a high sadism score, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't know this. So we was all like a little kickback on a Saturday, and we all, brought the test out. Everybody did the test. And like her sadism was like 99.
Yeah.
Like, shit was high. But now we start understanding why she embarrassed him so much, right? She loved inflicting emotional pain, right?
Yeah.
And then we saw his masochism score. I think it was like 60 to 70, but it explained why he was with her.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when we look at the dynamics of couples, like we want to be like, how the fuck they belong together?
Bruh.
They don't even know is this.
Yeah.
But they just two people that met and everything clicked.
Clicked together.
All right.
Yep.
So we got dom and sub, which is the basis of it. We got sadism and masochism, which is the base of it. There's levels to each one of these things. Above dom and sub, you have what's called master slave. Look it up. A lot of people are not into that. Then below that, you have top bottoms. I know that's a big term in the gay bisexual community, but it's also in the sexual community. Like during sex, you have someone that bottoms, someone that tops. Basically, the person that's going to control the flow of sex and how sex is going. If you are but let me say this: if you find out your dominant scores are high, your master scores are high, your owner scores are high because you have owner scores are high, and let's say the woman is a switch, right? Which means she goes back and forth. You got to figure that relationship out because that may not work. Or you might be in a relationship that is constantly contentious. Slaves. So here's the thing: a lot of guys want subs, and what you're really looking for are slaves, because slaves, what they do is they serve their mister or their mistress solely. So to your point, right, when you were talking about the guys that actually wanted to eat women out that were sex workers, a lot of those men are actually slaves.
Yeah.
So not slave in the sense of enslaved Africans. I remember what was the singer that had made the song like "I'm a Slave" and everybody, there's this huge backlash.
Yeah, Britney Spears.
But it was like no, not even Britney. The guy, Life Jennings made the song or whatever. It was a terrible. I won't say it wasn't terrible, but wasn't a hit.
Nah.
But this is what he was talking about. So when you start looking at men that are into,
I remember that.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
So a slave is kind of given that primary focus is just providing pleasure.
Yeah.
For their mister or their mistress.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times it looks weird to outsiders, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're thinking in the terms of dom sub, and that relationship may no longer be dom sub. And I want to make sure when y'all listen to this that you understand that dom sub, it's not male female.
Nah.
Right? It could go in either direction.
Yeah.
So you got masters, you have owners, same thing. Owners are people that take responsibility on a 24/7 basis. You have pets, all right. So we see a lot of times, when a woman is like on her knees and she got a chain, she got a collar on, or she got a little collar,
choker.
Choker that says little puppy or whatever. That is a subset of dom sub. If you meet a woman and she has a pet score, right? Like, so if you take this test and you meet a woman and her pet score is 99. And if you can't shower with, quality time, and if you can't do words of affirmation, and if you can't play into that pet scene with her, she's probably going to leave you, because when you get those scores that are 90 up, these are things that people need. Like, these aren't even like desires. Like
if you wanted to work,
these are things that have to work, right? If she's prey, right?
Yeah.
If she's prey, that means that when she comes in the house, you're gonna have to be the aggressor there, right? She wants you to take that animalistic nature out. You know, the ideal of, I did not say take the pussy. I said take the idea out. All right.
Yeah. But y'all ain't finna get us in trouble.
Yeah. But or if she's primal, right?
Yeah.
That means that sometimes she's gonna come in, drunk off that hen.
Yeah.
And run up on you, right? Like, you gotta understand, like, this is what she does. Like, if you're the type of guy that when your woman gets home and she's primal, and then you're like, yo, I don't like that. Yeah. But that's how she gets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're asking her to turn something off
that she don't turn.
She can't turn off.
Absolutely.
So these are all ideals and things that you guys got to really understand. Exhibition, voyeur. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. All right, fellas. Woo.
Here we go.
I don't know how to tell you this. Women, a lot of women love being exhibitionists. Right? Yeah. You're gonna have to figure out how much of that shit you can take. And how to rein that shit in. Right?
Absolutely.
Because her being an exhibitionist doesn't mean that she has to do that shit 24/7. Doesn't mean that she's gonna go out and show you goodies to the whole world. If she has a high exhibition score, don't get freaked the fuck out, right? Like, she's an adult. She can control herself. But it does mean that, you have to go to the beach sometime, and you're gonna have to get the balcony, oceanfront balcony, patio, and you're gonna have to have the business out there. It does mean that, she probably gonna want to go to the Miami and the topless beach or the Mexico's, and it does mean that, fellas. And look, again, had these conversations before sex, man, so you ain't finding this shit out after y'all got 2 kids.
I encourage everybody, if you have a Reddit, type in your city and put "Gone Wild" in it. You'll be amazed.
Yeah, like, and a lot of those women they're exhibitionists, right?
Absolutely.
Voyeurism, right? Like, it's a huge thing, which it sometimes plays hand in hand with exhibition. The ideal of, you know what, we're gonna leave the blinds open tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of things. Fellas, this ain't the place to try to, like, give you, like, the breakdown of everything that you could do. But when you find out that your woman are into these things, this is a good place to kind of figure out that, all right, I want to ride this boat, or I want to get the fuck off.
Yeah.
And then you have just plain vanilla sex, which are people who just love standard sex. Like, if you're dating someone and your vanilla is 99 and hers exhibition and voyeurism and shit is 99, bro, y'all not gonna work. I don't care what she look like. I don't care how sweet she is.
Who getting cheated on?
He's definitely getting cheated on. And vice versa. If she's vanilla here, and and I'm not saying vanilla people don't cheat. I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
it's a sexual. Look, I put it like this: if you get cheated on, it's a difference between they just had sex and
they got a whole lifestyle like that. they on Charlotte. They on CLT Gone Wild.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a way to get cheated on, right? Like, it's a difference between missionary in the hotel room, I love you cheated on, and I got your girl in
a movie theater.
Railed, with everybody watching.
Absolutely,
2 different ways to get cheated on. But if your vanilla scores are here and her scores are here, that's all I'm saying is that it doesn't work. So, one, get better at sex. Huge thing. Like, let's do better there. And the second thing is find out what you're into and find out what your chemistry is.
Absolutely.
And, and don't kink shame, because here's the thing. I have found out that, like, when a woman can trust you, like, you're not going to be like, oh, I can't believe you're into that. You start finding out that a lot of women are, like, into a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And their friends are, and the only people who didn't know was the men.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't know how to keep y'all fucking mouth shut. You don't know how to not shame people.
Yeah.
You don't know how to be like, show it on your face. And there's times, like, I've mentioned something to a woman and she just be like, yeah, I don't think I want you to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, all right, but I'm cool with everything else.
Yeah.
Whereas, with guys, I hear from ladies that they're, a woman to say, hey, what do you think about this? And the guy just be like, oh my God, yeah.
That's weird.
And like, now she don't even want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have not given her a safe place to have sex. And knowing how sensitive a woman's yoni is, like, it might behoove us to be a little bit more careful a little bit more caring, take our time a little bit more, and make sure she's enjoying herself. And if she does all those things, then maybe you'll start receiving a little bit of the cooperation that you want. And that's all I got, man.
Look, man, it basically sounds like Mike said, communicate.
Communicate.
Find some shit out.
And which is crazy because sex is a form of communication.
Absolutely.
It's the ultimate form of communication. And it's like, why aren't we discussing this more, especially when we look at these red pill communities? Like, we know what the problem is. Yep. These boys aren't getting laid.
Yeah, they're not
getting laid.
They're liars.
We're kink shaming them, to actually, pay for arrangements.
Yeah.
Like, no, bro, look, if you was hungry and you had to get food and you had enough money in your pocket for food, right? Nobody gonna shame you for going for McDonald's drive-thru.
Nah.
All right? Sometimes y'all boys need to run yourselves through the pussy drive-thrus so you can not be fucking incel terrorists in the future.
I love when he called y'all incel terrorists. That is the funniest shit ever. Absolutely. Look here, man. We want to thank y'all for tuning in and chopping it up with us. Next week gonna be amazing as well. I have an amazing story to tell y'all next week. For the simple fact that my wife is going out of town for 5 days and leaving me with her baby. And
daddy duty.
If I look sleepy next Tuesday or next week when we do this, y'all know why.
Hey, man.
Y'all can't judge me.
Good. It's gonna be a good week for you, man. It's a good learning lesson. This our first time leaving the kid with you?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, she gonna be on your ass anyway. It's gonna be just like she there.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we're gonna let y'all next time.
I'll let your boy.